All right, let's go, Gogs. Go, 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 go.
Welcome to Movie Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. It
That's
is
right.
Grab Bag Week. We ran
It
out of
is.
Louis Gossett Jr. movies,
Thank God.
so we got to
I
watch
don't think
Alex.
we didn't
Yeah.
run out. We couldn't take anymore.
Louis Gossett sent us a polite but firm email asking us to please stop reviewing his films.
Yeah.
So we got to watch Alex Grab Bag pick The Legend of Baron Toa. Is it going to be our best movie of the month?
I don't know how it could be.
Are New Zealand accents the greatest accents of all time? Where is Sean right now? Find out on Movie Podcast.
He's doing the
I'm trying
again.
I'm gonna try and see what we can do.
Alec, how did you come across this film?
I saw a trailer for it on TikTok a while ago.
Okay, because this came out like what, 2 years ago, last year, or something,
like 2019.
Yeah,
or was it 2021?
It was 2020. Although who knows when it originally came out and when it was just like released
right
in New Zealand, because I think aside from the few blockbusters that come out of there, their movie industry's timetable is way different than Hollywood.
Oh, I would imagine. This movie also is the first movie I've ever seen that has it has like a like hello to the Tongan royal family, I guess.
Yeah, basically saying like, hey, we're sorry, we're not trying to make us look bad.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I let me just put this out on Front Street. I know absolutely nothing about like Tongan. The only thing I know about Tongans is from wrestling, and that is incredibly racist. Because
as we watched a wrestling movie about Tongans.
Well, no, but I mean, like in WWF, like they literally their gimmick was like you can't hit them in the head because their heads are too hard, and that. You weren't aware of that, Gogs? That's like Alec knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's why all their finishers were headbutts.
Yeah, because their heads were too hard, so they brought in some phronology in there. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
that's problematic.
It was bad. It was real bad, and they're in New Zealand? Question mark, right?
They're in New Zealand in this movie, yes.
Yeah, which is next to Australia.
And not far from Tonga.
Yes.
Next door to Australia.
But Tonga Island, right?
It's a series of, I had to look it up. It's like several, it's one of those things where if you Google it.
Archipelago?
Well, when you Google it, it's just going to show you the Pacific Ocean. You're like, what do you mean? Mm-hmm. And then you have to zoom in to see like the 4 or 5 pretty decently spaced apart tiny islands that make Tonga. But it's just like hanging out there by itself.
Is Samoa one of those islands? I'm so ignorant. Ignorant.
Yeah, we're going to go down like a real racist rabbit hole. I believe Samoa is
not trying to be racist. I think
Samoa is its own sovereign nation.
But is it related? Or they're not related?
They're just all Pacific Islanders. Like
I see.
Yeah, like
because the uncle in this movie uses the word Polynesian, and I wasn't sure if that was racist. Because I feel like. I think Polynesian, when you name sauce after something, it seems racist.
I feel like the term Polynesian kind of covers Pacific Islanders sort of in general.
That's what I gleaned from the context in the movie.
So there's Tonga, there's Fiji, there's Samoa. These are all individual. These are all.
Here they have a wonderful Hard Rock Cafe in Fiji.
These are all nations. These are all like independent nations, right?
Okay, all right.
And they're all basically. Like
they're all adjacent to Australia.
They're northeast of New Zealand and Australia.
Gotcha.
But they're fucking just out. You're like zooming in all the way, and you're like, there's just nothing but like ocean around you. Like how the balls on these folks to just get into a boat and try and find anywhere else ever, because like you're just good luck. You're gonna hit more water than you hit land. So. No, it's fucking they're hanging out there.
All right, all right.
This has been geography with Mulehole.
Yeah, well, this just shows you how fucking stupid I am. Like I have like no concept of the rest of the world. I'm very, very, very ignorant when it comes to geography. I mean, and I'm embarrassed by it. I'm not. This isn't something I wear on my sleeve with pride.
Not proud of this.
No, so I mean one country in Polynesia that I've heard of, because I read a book about it before, is Kiribati. Okay. Kiribati is 32 atolls with a total land area of 313 square miles,
That's it.
spread over 1.4 million square miles of ocean.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's like a damn Mario level, jumping from island to island. That's crazy.
Let's see.
Interesting. All right. Anyway, enough geography talk. Geography, the podcast. Tune in. What a show. Do you think there's a podcast about geography?
Oh, there's a podcast about everything.
There's hundreds of them.
What the fuck would that even sound like? Like this.
Just a lot of this. Like it's probably just like picking like obscure places you never would have thought of.
Hey man, you guys ever heard of the Marshall Islands?
Saying I'm tuning in. Like and subscribe. Can I be a?
We're doing a deep dive this week into Micronesia.
Oh shit! I know that because
we're sticking with the Nesias for another week.
Yeah, we're all Nesias. It's Nesia-wary.
We're going from poly to micro.
that sounds like my sex life.
Hey.
Oh, I don't know. That didn't make much sense. Anyway, what did y'all watch this week, Alec?
I don't know if I watched anything.
Oh my god! Well, you did watch.
Well, you're on cooldown from watching a million films.
You watched like 100.
I did. Well, I watched one movie. It's called Saint Vincent, and it stars Bill Murray and Melissa McCarthy. It's good. It's a cute little kind of dark comedy, but also with like a sweet, gooey middle.
What's it about?
Melissa McCarthy is a single mom who leaves her husband with her kid, leaves her husband and takes her kid with her. Bill Murray is an old, like, not addict, but drunk gambler who whores around and like bets at the racetrack, sleeps with prostitutes. I don't think he does drugs. I think he just gets shit faced all the time. And through a wacky series of escapades, he ends up babysitting the kid just to make money so he can gamble more. That's the elevator pitch.
So it sounds like a friendlier Gran Torino.
It was like a kind of more sanitized Bad Santa.
Ah.
It was in a similar vein to Bad Santa. But the kid isn't nearly as much of a dipshit, and the kid teaches the old man just as much as the old man teaches the kid. But it was good. I think it was Naomi Watts plays a Russian prostitute who's pregnant.
God, can you imagine?
It's really, she's really good at it too. She just puts the most stereotypical Russian accent on everything she says.
I would love to see Naomi Watts with a Russian accent. I feel like that would check a lot of boxes for me.
Oh yeah.
She's basically doing like a Boris and Natasha accent.
Moose and squirrel.
Oh no, moose and squirrel. But it was really good. I thought it was a lot of fun. But in big letters, as soon as with the production companies, everything is produced by Harvey and whatever the brother's name, Weinstein. Like, ugh.
I forgot. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
they produced a lot of movies.
There's gonna be a lot of that stinks gonna last for a while.
They throw their name over everything, so I guess I don't watch that much stuff that they've produced because this is the first time I can think of that I've noticed and audibly been like, ugh.
Yeah, it's not great. It's
no,
not great.
Like the Weinstein companies, they did all of Tarantino's films, right?
Yeah. They did Kevin Smith's movies too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He would gladly. Kevin Smith would actually invite that nowadays. It's like, please, somebody fund my garbage.
Well, he's getting it funded, obviously.
Somehow, I don't know. If you've seen that Clerks 3 trailer, it looks like that movie cost about $10. It
looks terrible.
Just production-wise, it just looks so bad. Like, what happened? Like, he used to be able to make a movie that at least looked like a fucking movie.
But who's asking for this?
You.
I'm not!
You said it the other day. You're like, man, I can't wait for Clerks 3. I'm like, what? You're like, shut the fuck up. And then you punch me in the back of the head.
That sounds like me.
Kevin Smith's going to buy a new house.
It's just so like I don't know. I'm just mad anytime he puts a movie out because I know we're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah.
So
This ugly wife isn't going to pay for itself.
ooh.
Jesus. It's not her fault.
It's ugly. Good night, folks. Oh, that's pretty good. Anything else? Jesus.
I finished Umbrella Academy, and it's excellent. It's outstanding.
Watch.
I think TJ, I think you'll like it a lot.
I loved the first season. I need to catch up.
Gogs, it might end up being like your favorite show of all time. I don't know why, but I feel like you would cream your pants for it.
I need to watch it. I need to just dig in and watch it.
I'm not sure why, but something about it just screams Gogs.
Okay.
Like, in a good way. Not like I think you would find it incredible.
Do you think I'll like it from Jump Street, or is it just this third season's really nailing it?
No, I think you'll like it all the way through. Like, season 1's excellent, too. Like, right off the bat, it fucking grabs you.
All right.
I watched the first couple episodes of Paper Girls, and it's pretty good.
I meant to start watching it. I fell asleep watching SummerSlam last night.
They dropped the whole season instead of doing it week by week.
Nice.
The whole season's on there. We watched the first 2 episodes, and I like it so far. I'll keep watching. I'll finish it.
Is that also based on a comic?
Does it have like the same vibe as the comic? Like, is the first episode almost no dialogue? Because I remember the first issue. I don't think had any dialogue.
No, there's dialogue in it. Because like it moves quicker. Like within the first episode, they're like already spoiler alerts for Paper Girls. They're already in the future and like meeting what's her name, Aaron's older self.
Yeah,
like right off the bat.
What's funny is I can see people saying, like, watching this and being like, oh, this is just like Stranger Things, but I'm pretty sure the comic came out before Stranger Things.
They already are saying that.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Like, Stacey said the same thing. Like, Stacey was like, this feels like Amazon trying to capture the Stranger Things, and the vibe of the show definitely does. And I was like,
well, I mean, I feel like it kind of has to. Like, the comic that gave me that kind of feeling. Like,
yeah, and that comic came out a year before Stranger Things debuted. Came out in 2015, and I think the first season of Stranger Things was 2016.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I really enjoyed that comic, so
it's really good, and they're short episodes. They're only like 30 to 35 minute episodes. Like, they're really good. Or the two I've watched are really good. The 4 girls are all good at. They're all really good at it. The other thing I watched the first episode of the Kids in the Hall revival.
Oh, how's that?
That's pretty good.
Good.
Like, I was never as much into Kids in the Hall as you guys were, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, Kids in the Hall is one of those things where it was all like. Remember when Comedy Central was just reruns of like SNL from the 90s and like Kids in the Hall, and like that's all they had, and like whose line is it anyway?
Shorties watching Shorties.
And Shorties watching Shorties. Yeah. All right, sorry, Alex. I watched a lot of Kids in the Hall because of that.
It opened the first episode. I only watched the first episode, and they're short episodes too. I only watched the first episode, and it starts with his name's Scott. I can't remember all their names.
Scott
Thompson.
Scott Thompson. Mr. October.
He's dressed as like an old Indian shaman, like hosting a yard sale.
Already love
and
it.
like this girl picks up a copy of Brain Candy, and it's like, what is this? And he starts explaining it like as like an Indian shaman, and she's like, well, I guess I'll buy it. And she hands him like a loony coin, like the dollar coins they have up there, and he like. A vortex comes around and he's like, Brain Candy finally broke even. And then it teleports to the boardroom with Mark McKinney as like the head CEO from Brain Candy. Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God.
It's great.
That's a good joke. That's a very good joke.
Look at the big table in here.
The beginning is excellent.
That movie.
It's just like I felt about the show. A couple of the sketches I thought were really funny, and a couple of them I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean the show is very hit or miss.
You do see Kevin McDonald and David Foley's dicks right off the bat.
Yes.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Like
them.
Full frontal, and they're like jumping around, and it's all flopping everywhere.
Are they big?
They're average.
That's a no.
They're not like anything.
That's a shame.
They're not Willem Dafoe.
Well, no one is.
That's it, Gogs.
I watched two things.
Two things.
I rewatched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and
Pause real quick. I saw today, right before I got on the show, the first A24 movie to make $100 million box office worldwide.
it's their biggest. It's the biggest A24 movie of all time. I thought that movie.
Alec, have you seen that yet? I feel like
I haven't. I gotta watch it.
I think you'll love it. I think you'll really like it.
I thought that movie was outstanding on my first viewing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really thought it was really, but on my second viewing,
you hated it.
No, I mean, I think it might be like it might be like perfect. Like it's I don't know, it hit a lot of like emotional chords with me the first time I watched it, but the second time I was just 100% there for it, and then I could and since I knew what was happening, I could kind of like dig in and like really kind of like pay attention to all the little clues and hints and this, that, and the other. The entire cast is amazing. Like, I didn't realize, I think Sean might have was saying, or Sean or TJ was maybe saying this, the gentleman who plays Wayman.
Oh my God, yeah.
He played Short Round, right? And he played Data from Goonies.
Yeah.
He took a 20-year hiatus away from acting.
Yeah, and he's amazing.
And all he did was he was the stunt choreographer for the original X-Men movie. He was the stunt choreographer for The One.
He also he did some production work on what's his name?
2046. He did that.
He did some work and his other movies too. Mood for Love. I can't think of that guy's name.
Like so he stepped away from being an actor forever. And he did like a lot of production stuff. And also this cool like stunt corner shit. And then he just kind of caught wind of this movie. And he ran into, I forget who he said he ran into, but they basically like it gave him a shot to like audition for it. And now if he doesn't get at least a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, it's a crime.
He deserves it. I mean, he's so fucking good in the movie.
He really is.
He's the emotional core of the movie too.
Yes.
And he's just so like, I don't know. It's not an easy role because like he's kind of like the sweet but like stalwart, like kind of a pushover. But it's not. But like
that's his strength as he describes it.
But that's like that's a hard character to play, and like it's not like and also
it's hard character to play to not be and be so endearing.
Well, it's
so endearing.
It's not spoiling anything. Everybody knows this movie is a multiverse movie, but like he also, plays the opposite in the movie. He plays that like debonair like actor guy in the one timeline, and like the movie's so fucking good. And like it's cliche to say, but like it really is like everything. Like that movie is like it's such a joy. It's a brilliant film. I fucking love it.
I don't see it getting unseated for my 2022 movie of the year. And it might be like my top 10 movies of all time. I just love it.
They're putting it back in theaters. I kind of want to see it on the
big
screen. Yeah.
Like I kind of do too. Like and the young lady that plays Michelle Yeoh's amazing in it. And the young lady that plays her
daughter is really good.
Just wonderful.
The whole cast. What's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, there's not a bad performance in it. So I mean, Alec, you really should watch it. I think you'd love it. It's just it's beautiful and it's fun. It's a movie that's like it's got so much heart and so much like message and so much like emotional weight, and then it's just like all held together by science fiction and karate, and like I don't know how to describe that any different, but it's
one of like it's a very rare time where something can be like very out there and artsy, but also be like a total crowd pleaser. Yeah, like this movie is not like hard. Like this is. It deals with a lot of like weird ass concepts and like crazy ideas, but it's still at the end of the day, it's a very simple story. Really, when you boil it down, and it's a crowd pleasing movie,
and they explain everything to you in pretty much easy terms to understand. So that
but they don't like talk down to the audience.
No, they don't talk down to you, but like they give you everything you need to know. So I can't say enough about that movie. I love that movie to death. And then the other movie I watched. I was talking to TJ about this. I think it's a Shudder original, or it's a Shudder produced, or Shudder got the rights to it.
Yeah, Shudder rocks.
It's called Moloch.
Moloch is I told you, Moloch is he was a a pagan god where they build these giant effigies of this bull. Moloch was the bull god. and they would literally put people into the fucking like the statue and burn it like fucking Wicker Man style, and sacrifice to Moloch. That's what the blood drinking democratic elites do. That's what conspiracy theories. They like Alex Jones thinks that to this day people worship Moloch and try to get immortality.
Well, Kid Rock does. He wrote that whole song about the bull god.
Oh my god! Holy shit, dude! Oh my! Did you all see Kid Rock like making out with that weird woman last night on SummerSlam? What was that about?
Yeah, I saw a still of that.
I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't.
The best meme was, "Ew, that woman lowered her standards and kissed Kid Rock," which I was like, "Hell yeah, fuck Kid Rock."
But so Moloch or whatever. It's a 2022 movie. It's Dutch. But it bounces between being spoken in Dutch and English, because there's like English speakers in the film. It's like I was texting TJ. It was kind of like it sort of wants to be like a Hereditary. Like I think Hereditary is like a 10. Like I love Hereditary. I think that movie's fucking amazing. This movie, when I finished watching it, I was like, that was pretty good. And the more I reflected on it, the more I liked it. I'd give it probably at the end of the day like an 8 out of 10. I think it's really well done. It's very interesting. It's very paced, and it's got that sort of like dread vibe to it. It's not like full of jump scares and shit. It's sort of a fun, like it's another one of those movies where it's kind of like blending like sort of legend and fairy tale into sort of a ghost story. It's worth checking out. Shudder put it out, so if you got Shudder, don't cost nothing.
I fucking love Shudder, dude. Like I am really been shocked at how great their original stuff has been. Last week I talked about that Gore documentary I really liked. They put out that Taiwanese movie, The Sadness, which I wasn't crazy about, but it's still cool that it's on there. VFW from last year.
VFW fucking ruled.
Psycho Goreman was a Shudder original.
Psycho Goreman was awesome.
They would have anything to do with Summer of '84, did they?
They did not, but I believe it's on their service. But man, Psycho Goreman drawing came up on my time up the other day, and I'm like, man, I love that fucking movie.
So much fun.
So much fun.
I guess the only thing I watched, I watched a show. I watched the first episode of the Shudder reboot of Creepshow.
Is it any good?
The first episode was pretty cool. Like it had I always get the gentleman's name wrong. He was from Pollos Hermanos.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito, Tobin Bell, and Adrian Barbeau are in the first episode.
Word on the street is Giancarlo Esposito might be Professor X.
Yeah, I'm
fucking awesome with that.
I'm totally for that.
I'm not against that.
I think that's like really cool. Like there were rumors that he was going to be Doctor Doom, and I was fine with that.
I mean, that too. Like, get him in that MCU. He's very menacing.
I think him as Professor X would be cool though too, because like, and not to make this comic book the podcast, but like especially with the recent like Hickman run, where he's kind of made Professor X like got a little bit of an edge. Like he's a little bit of like a megalomaniac because of his power level and like his. Like, I think, like, he kind of hints that, like, Professor X is kind of fascist, which I think is kind of a fascinating idea. Like, I don't know. Like, he's like, I don't know. I think Giancarlo Esposito would be great. Anything. He's an awesome actor. I want to play the new Far Cry. Well, it's old now, but
the
Far Cry game just because he's the villain. Like,
I
heard it's not that great, but, like, I'm sure it'd be fun. I've never not had fun playing a Far Cry game.
Always fun.
Even the bad ones, I'm just like, it's fun.
But I was thinking about that. I was watching. I don't remember. Was Creepshow ever a show?
Mm-hmm. No.
But like Tales from the Crypt was a show.
You had Tales from the Crypt, and
you had Friday the 13th, the series, and you had Nightmare on Elm Street, the series.
And you're missing one that everybody forgets because it's very short lived. I only knew because I had the VHS tapes. You had Freddy's Nightmares.
Wow,
which was another one. So I'm all for the. And you're also forgetting the Outer Limits reboot that they did.
Oh yeah, But like that was a thing like in the late 90s was that horror TV show.
I'm all for it. I love short
you can tell a fun little story in a very short period of time.
I want nothing more than like bring back Tales from the Crypt. Put fucking tarot, like put the right yard over there.
Yes, I'm fine.
Give me some of give me the Ari Asters, give me the fucking the Robert Eggers. Just let them make 25-minute little movies. I would love that shit.
Let them fuck around. But yeah, like
or you know who'd be great? Give a whole show to fucking what's his name? The fucking Mandy Beyond the Black Rainbow guy.
Oh yeah, that
Cosmos Panthamos or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Laszlo Panaflex.
Here we go. All your Greek directors you love so much.
Wait, all of them? Oh yeah, Largo. Yeah, I forgot about him. I forgot. I was like, wait a minute. There's two. There's only two.
I'm one episode.
Too many.
I'm one episode into this, and I'm. It's so far so good. It's keeping my attention. So, but that's it. TJ.
I watched one thing. I watched the new Jordan Peele film, Nope.
And
I'm happy to say that I didn't hate it. It's not Us, which I couldn't stand. It's pretty good. It doesn't really stick the landing. It's a frustrating movie because I think it's good, but I don't think that it's great. And I think that like it needed a little bit more time in the oven. Like I feel like it's a movie that like relies on its themes more than its story a little too much. And the problem is that it doesn't go deep enough into those themes where it's just like, by the time it's over, you're like, that was pretty good. Like great performances. Daniel Acuna, is that his name?
Kaluuya.
How did I got way off? Daniel Acuna is a comic book artist. He's great.
Also, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the Hispanic Ghost Rider.
Oh shit. Well, he's great. Keke Palmer is his sister, and she is great in the movie. What's his name? Your boy from The Crow is fun in it for the little bit that he's in it.
Oh, Michael
Wilcott.
Michael Wilcott. Yeah,
he's fun. The movie is pretty, and it looks really good. I'll give Jordan Peele credit on this one. This is his best looking movie. This movie looks fantastic. There's a lot of like great wide shots. Like almost everything in this movie is a wide shot. To like kind of the movie is about, spoiler alerts, but fucking UFOs.
Yeah, and you see that in the trailer. So
yeah, well, that one of my biggest problems with this movie is the fucking trailer, because all the trailers for this movie are fucking terrible. And then after you watch the movie, the stuff that they focus on in the trailers don't like have anything to do with the movie. So the trailers did a really bad job of like promoting this movie. But it's a pretty interesting movie, and the problem is that there's aspects of the film that I really liked. They just don't stick with it enough, and it's like I don't know. That is, I think we've talked about this before, but like that sometimes like the frustrating movie is a little bit worse than being bad, because it's just like you were right there, you had a home run on your hands, but it's still pretty good, and I think that overall like it's pretty entertaining. The best way I can put it into like a little bubble would say that it's Jaws with a UFO. Like it's just Jaws. Like Michael Wilcott is clearly Quint, and it's Jaws. Like they're trying to catch this thing, and it's Jaws. Like it's kind of obvious after you watch it. The problem is that he throws in these side plots that I think are more interesting than the main plot, and then the ending is just kind of like, I don't know how to end this, and it just kind of ends. But overall, I mean, I was entertained. I think that it was a 10+ production with like a 6 story. It's the best way I can describe it. Like, I really liked the characters. I liked the overall setup. I liked a lot of the design work. Like, not to get too much into it, but like the UFO looks great, and the design work for the UFO was fantastic. There's a lot of anime influence in this fucking movie, specifically Neon Genesis Evangelion. It reeks by the end of this movie. There's also there's a very famous shot in Akira where Kaneda like peels out on his bike and everyone in animation has copied that shot. Jordan Peele has copied that shot in this film, and I kind of popped a little bit when he did it. I was like, I see what you did there. I did like a Peter Griffith. I was like, that was, I don't know, but it's pretty good. I give it like a 6 or a 7. I enjoyed it. I wanted more out of it, but I did enjoy it. I just think that he needed like another half an hour in this movie. Like he needed to kind of flesh out some more of his ideas, but it's certainly not bad. I think that the Get Out is like is just going to loom over his head because that was just like I think that was lightning in a pan. Honestly, like great concept, great execution, great performance,
and no one expected that from him. Like,
and
it was like
and his
Jordan
other
Peele's doing this.
His other 2 movies, like I'll give him credit. I was waiting for the Us scene in this movie where he over explains everything. That never happens. But like Us is a great premise that he drives into the ground and it totally fucks up. This is a good movie with a good cast that doesn't have a great premise. Like the premise is kind of weak. The reason the original trailer is so fucking like vague is because the premise kind of sucks. Like the premise is kind of boring. And then they showed that extended trailer that they released a couple of weeks ago. That trailer just looks kind of shitty, and honestly, that's more of an honest representation of what this movie is. Like, but the rest of it is so good, it drives.
But you didn't hate it.
It elevates the content, like it really does. Like, if you break down the story, you're like, but again, it looks great, sounds great. The cast is very good. It's just kind of a meh plot that doesn't really go anywhere, but still overall an entertaining movie. I'd recommend it. I did not hate it. I just think he needs a little bit. He needs like a second writer or something. He needs somebody in his ear to be like, "Whoa, why don't we try this?" I don't know, but not bad.
That's what he has Key for.
Yeah. Where's Key at?
Yeah.
But I would not say it was bad. I would recommend the film. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but I also was going in with the lowest possible expectation.
Yeah, you went in skeptical, so that's like.
But I think that's even harder.
I know. I agree. Like, if it turns your opinion, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, and it's funny. There, a guest appearance, a very minor role for Oswald Perkins, who I had to laugh because I'm like, oh, he's a better director in your movie. Like, why didn't he direct this? Oswald Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins. He directed The Blackcoat's Daughter. He directed Gretel and Hansel, which I really liked. He's a fantastic director. Also, the one of the cast of Euphoria is in this movie, and I was like, why did you? She's in it for literally a scene. I was like, why did you cast her? Like, for what? Like, why? You could have just hired like somebody for like $20. Like, why did you hire someone that has a name? Like,
Maybe he cast her and it was done before.
Maybe,
Euphoria
or maybe it was
blew up.
maybe it was a bigger part before it got cut up. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, go watch it. It's good. It's not something you need to rush out to the theater to see, but like when it comes out on the Plex, I would recommend it. So yeah. So what did we watch this week, though?
The Legend of Baron Toa.
Do you want to explain the movie, Alec?
I can give you like the elevator pitch for it. It's very A to B, very simple movie, and it reminded me of some other movie. I had a really good analogy the other day, and I didn't write it down, so I can't think of it. We're introduced at the beginning with a vignette. Well, actually, I think TJ already mentioned it. Starts with the two of the lead actors asking for forgiveness from the King of Tonga for the content of their movie.
I was wondering if that was only in like the Hulu version or like wherever we watched it. I don't know. Unfortunately, the torrent for this never finished downloading. So
I watched it on Amazon, and it was there. I bought it on Amazon. It was one of those ones where it was like $4.99 to rent, $9.99 to buy. I was like, you know what?
I love that GOG's math, baby. Love it.
So we start out. I believe it starts with if I remember correctly, a montage or like some shots of vintage Baron Toa wrestling, and then we're introduced to a couple who drive down a cul-de-sac. Apparently, they make a wrong turn.
This was pretty funny to me.
Car, you think that you see a gang like follow up on their car, and you think they're going to get like mugged or beaten, but they just kind of dismantle the car around them.
Yeah,
and like send them on their way. They steal the car parts.
This is the nicest looking slum apparently I've ever seen. In my
thank
entire
you.
life.
Okay, yeah, I was like, that was the one thing I was like, this is so weird because like they're like, oh, this is like the most dangerous neighborhood. I'm like, it looks nice as hell.
Then we're introduced to Fritz, who is Ubering to his dad's house because his uncle's supposed to be selling it, but he's having an issue with letting go of the house. Fritz is played by, I can't pronounce his name, but he plays apparently Young Rock on the Young Rock TV show, which I have not watched.
Yeah, Gogs mentioned that. I haven't seen that show either. I've seen screenshots of when they cut to like the Undertaker and Mankind, and that stuff is kind of funny because they recast those guys.
The only person that I've seen any shots of that is the same is I can't think of his name now. Michael Hayes.
Oh shit, Michael Hayes is in that show?
Michael Hayes is in the show like as himself, but everybody else has been recast.
There's a
which
picture.
Is really wild.
Michael Hayes, you want to talk about racism, once said that two black wrestlers couldn't wrestle each other because you don't want to have a double gimmick match.
Well, I just found, just Googling that, I found a still of, I think the young man's name, I'm also going to butcher it. It's like Yuli Latakefu, I think. But it's got him in that iconic Rock turtleneck and chain with the...
Oh, hell yeah. The old 90s picture.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked him. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get to it, but I loved him.
I thought he was very good in this.
Fritz, he's apparently like a psych major. He's trying to come up with algorithms for some app. He gets to the neighborhood. The Uber driver refuses to drive him up the street, so he walks up the street, gets to his house, and finds his uncle being harassed for his lawnmower by some neighborhood youths. He proceeds to scare the youths off, and then they start throwing like papayas at him or something, smashing all over his suit. Later that night, after quite a while of trying to convince his uncle to sign the papers to sell, they hear a domestic violence incident at the neighbor's house where a cop is accosting a lady. Fritz goes and pretty much destroys the cop.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, he fucking manhandles this dude.
Like this dude Fritz, the guy. Let me look up his name again because I'm just gonna I gotta memorize his first name so I don't just keep trying to butcher his last name and calling him Fritz.
It's Yuli or Uli.
Okay. Uli is like a specimen. He like there's no way this dude is under like 6'4", and he's jacked, but not like the Rock jacked. He's jacked like a swimmer or like just an athlete. He's very lean, but all muscle.
Yeah. I didn't even say he's 6'6", and that's actually how tall he is.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And like imagining him not being able to handle business with somebody is more ridiculous than anything that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Like he should be able to take care of his own. While they're out there sorting out the domestic violence, somebody sneaks into the house behind them and steals his dad's championship belt off the mantle. His dad is the legendary Baron Toa, who is like renowned around Tonga and I guess Polynesia. And he has his uncle's always watching his old matches and like reliving his glory days. Baron Toa died at some point.
Yeah, it's a flashback. It's very sad. But there's also like a little bit of a drop line when they're watching in the very beginning of the movie when they're watching like old footage of him, and he's basically saying like, "Oh, the neighborhood's safe because like they know I'm around." So you know what I mean? Like things went to shit once he passed away.
He was saying something like he's doing research for the biopic or the biography, whatever. Yeah.
The actor that plays his dad is really good too. I wish he was in the movie more. Like I really like the little segments that he's in the movie.
Yeah, I like that he would beat people up and then slap them with a flip flop. It's like the ultimate insult. His dad's name is John Tui.
He's very good in the movie. Like he has a very good like I don't know. I think like not to get ahead of myself, but like the thing I like about this movie is that all the characters seem kind of some of the situations are kind of silly, but they all seem very grounded characters. Like they all seem like real people in a weird way. Like I don't know, they seem very relatable, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Then there's a lot of Uli Fritz tries to go about getting the belt back. First, he chases a kid down for like 3 miles.
Yeah.
And like a Ferris Bueller-esque chase around the neighborhood through. I don't know what's going on in this neighborhood at this time. There are people eating breakfast. There are also people having like parties. There's like, it's wild. They're going through houses, smashing through doors. He finally catches the kid. The kid doesn't have the belt. He finds out that what was the name? The Pig Killers?
Pig Hunters?
The Pig Hunters motorcycle club has the belt. He goes there to try to diplomatically get the belt back without having to fight anybody and proceeds to get his dick stomped in
and the
by
Pig Hunters
everybody.
And the Pig Hunters have like a walled compound in the middle of this resident. It's like a normal residential street with this like almost like Mad Max Road Warrior-esque.
It reminded me of the villain's hideout in Rumble in the Bronx. Do you remember that? Yeah. Like the weird like the gang hangout, like kind of like it was. Like,
oh yeah, but it was kind of like just like a waterside bar also.
Yeah, it was like a waterside bar / warehouse / arcade. Like it was very odd. Like
that doesn't go well. He gets nursed back to health by the neighbor that he saved and his uncle and the neighbor's kid. And then he decides he's going to get his dad's belt back. And he commits himself and starts training, running, throwing rocks, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Running while carrying rocks. Doing sprints. I for a second, like I got this, I was like, wait a minute, I just saw something else where people are like sprinting up hills. Now it's hustle. When he has to run all the way up the hills of Philly, I was like, that's a different movie. Yeah, he gets a plan together for how he's going to get the belt back, and he grabs a couple of paint cans, straps a lawnmower blade to his arm, and goes to town.
Yeah, the third act
is
beating ass.
Like, I feel like the trailer that I watched showed everything from the third act. Like, it was just like, balls to the wall. The first guy tries to kick him, he blocks it with the lawnmower blade, and he compound fractures the guy's leg.
It's wild.
It is gross.
Wildly violent out of nowhere. It's
and I love the guy like kicks him. He looks at his leg. He's like, "What's that?" And Fritz is like, "Compound fracture, bub."
Yeah.
Gotta get that looked at.
Well, everyone
they say a lot of like buddy, and dude and brother.
Well, everyone sounds like what's his name from Thor.
Korg,
everybody sounds like Korg. It's just so charming.
Hey, Ming.
Another guy who's always playing loud music. He proceeds to beat the piss out of him through his car, just beating the dick off of him for like 3 minutes. A woman attacks him with a baseball bat.
Aluminum bat, yeah.
Yeah, an aluminum baseball bat. He proceeds to DDT her onto a concrete
He
driveway.
killed her. She's dead.
Yeah, then he has an awesome fight involving pool cues, pool balls, darts. Takes care of all the lackeys and finally makes his way up to the big boss, whom you think he dispatches rather quickly. Then you find out he wasn't the big boss.
No.
The friendly guy who's been trying to help him the whole time and like trying to be like the voice of reason and the mediator. He's the big boss who stole the belt and hated his dad.
I enjoyed the switcheroo on that one. I thought that was good.
I didn't think that he hated his dad. I thought he respected his dad, and he didn't think that Fritz was living up to it.
I thought he hated his dad because he was the kid in the flashback where his dad kicked shit out of George's dad.
Yeah, see, I took that as like he kicked the shit out of his dad and he set him straight and said, like, listen, this is what needs to be your bring. He's like, I don't care if you're selling drugs here, but you respect the neighborhood and you take care of people, you take care of your kid. And that's like why you like whooped him. But he's like, I don't care about the drug. I care about the fact you're parking on the lawns. There's kids coming home from school. They can't walk on the sidewalk. That's not safe. And he beat the shit out of all of them.
Yeah, like he like is using chains. Like he's like whipping a chain around a dude's neck and swinging him around. It is, yeah. This movie goes from 0 to like 120 as far as the violence goes, real fast.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to beat the piss out of George. And he gets the belt back, and all is right in the world.
Yeah, he suplexes him onto a lawnmower.
Oh. God, like, yeah.
Props to this movie for like working in like wrestling moves. Like it's kind of great because we always complain like The Rock. He doesn't do it quite anymore. At least not that I can remember. But I remember when he first started acting, it was like, all right, when's he going to do a rock bottom in the movie?
Yeah.
And it was always dumb as shit. I don't know. Somehow the suplex on the lawnmower like looked pretty organic.
It worked.
And I was like, yeah, I'm for it. Also, like, his back is fucked up.
And George is played by the captain of Padme Amidala's guard from the prequels.
That's who that was?
Yep.
Oh, shit. I did not put that face to him at all.
Yeah, the whole time I was watching, I'm like, I know you from something. Where the fuck do I know you?
I'm surprised Boba Fett didn't show up. Isn't he's Samoan, I believe, or Tongan? I'm not sure. I'm racist. I don't know. Pacific Island there. That would have been the safe thing to say.
Polynesian.
Sounds delicious. Love that Polynesian sauce at Chick-fil-A.
I do.
Yeah, so that's the Legend of Baron Toa. Thoughts? Alec, you go first. You never say your thoughts before everybody else.
My thoughts are this movie fucking ruled. Like,
yeah,
I was
100%.
A lot of fun.
I was a little worried about 20 minutes in. I was like, oh, is this more of like a character study and it's not as like action packed as the trailers made it seem and everything? But not too long after that, it picked up and I was like, oh no, it's fucking awesome. Like, this movie kicks a pile of ass. Yeah, man, the kid who's in it, like, there's no reason for him not to be like a superstar, except for if his accent, like, people don't cast him because of that, if he can't cover it up well. Like, he's a fan, like, everybody in this, like, all the acting performances are, like, really good. I thought everybody did a really good job. It is shot, like, the shot composition and just the crispness of this is like incredible.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's one of those things where you could tell this was shot digitally. But I don't think it's hurt by it. Like they did a really good job with the tools that they had. Like I agree. I think it looks really good. I was kind of worried that this was going to look really cheap, and I don't think it did at all.
No,
I thought it looked really nice, and I don't know. I think that's one of the aspects of the movies I like the most. Like, I know I brought up Rumble in the Bronx, but to me, this movie felt like a Hong Kong movie. And that's probably a weird comparison,
Well,
but
but it's got like the same like set, like
it,
it's like something's wrong in the neighborhood, and you got to smart the
yeah,
gangsters
and
for it. Like
it's
it's got that
also
vibe.
it's also kind of a small story about family, and like it's kind of like it's violent, but it's also lighthearted in a weird way. Like it reminded me of a Jackie Chan movie in a lot of ways, and that's a compliment from my perspective. Like I agree with Alec. I thought all the acting was really good. Um, there's a couple of little things that I thought you could trim down a little bit. I thought that chase scene in the early part of the movie went on like way too long. But like other than that, like I don't know, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I didn't think I was pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't say surprised. I didn't really know what to expect, but I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. Gogs, anything you want to add before we get to five knuckle shuffles?
I'm just gonna parrot the same things you guys said, except I really, whoever said they wanted more of the dad, I could also use more of the dad. Not that the movie's bad and it suffers for it. He's just so charming, and like his character just seems like he seems like sort of like that gentle giant, like so wholesome and like he is capable of doing violence for to keep things straight, but he's like a good he just seems like he radiates like being a good person. Um there's a couple of like lines in the movie that just catch you off guard. They catch the main character off guard, like where all these people are saying things like the one kid he tracks down in the very beginning. Like the kid has like some really insightful like thoughts, and it kind of catches the main character off guard, which then sort of sets the stage for you as the viewer of like we're all like reading all these books by their cover, and we shouldn't do that, and we should be like thinking about these people as fully formed folks. There's I don't think we touched on it all, but he's got a relationship with he's a mute neighbor who's been like his best friend his whole life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who's like a kind of a wacky inventor who kind of puts it all on the line for him, and there's sort of a touching moment where that doesn't really work out, but everything I think ends up
also
okay.
The chick neighbor that got almost domestic abuse by the cop was super hot.
She's a smoke show, yeah. And then there's one line that really caught me off guard was the part where he's beating the dude's ass with the loud radio in the truck, and Fritz, the main character, says something on the lines, not going to be, so it says something on the lines of, you're not pretty, bet you think yourself a pretty boy. And he's like, it's not my fault. My face follows the golden ratio. and Fritz is like, that's a rather insightful comment right now. And then he just finishes them off with like a knee to the nose bone. This movie's a ton of fun. Same thing. I didn't know what I was getting into from the very beginning. I mean, you see the cover and you're like, okay, well, they're going to have to get it on at some point. And then once you have that first fight with the cop, you're like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. And then the third act is just all gas, no brakes. That's a ton of fun.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree.
I'm just looking at the poster for the first time. I like that they incorporated every character from the movie on the poster.
Yeah, the poster is insane.
And I like that it's got the Fast and the Furious font.
It does. It's even got the little gleam of light on there. And the penultimate boss comes out in full Roman Reigns like body armor.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, which is funny.
After he finishes diarrheaing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roman Reigns, who lost the title, who lost both titles last night.
Oh, I thought he won.
Oh, did he win? I don't know. I thought he lost.
Oh,
did he win after Brock like flipped over the ring with a?
One of us is wrong.
I don't care. I fell asleep. People are saying it was good. I couldn't keep me awake, so it couldn't have been that good. I haven't fallen asleep during any AEW pay-per-views. Anyway, let's get into five knuckle shuffles. I did drink 3 of these while watching it, so that's probably why I fell asleep.
Oh.
Hey, Gogs, you want to hear something funny?
Yes.
So, I bought these big Sapporo beers, right? They had them in a big box next to the cooler. So I brought the cooler up to the counter, and the guy goes, "Oh, we don't usually sell those in the boxes. We sell them individually." I go, "Okay, well, how much are 12 of these?" It was like $46. But why the fuck do you have the box next to the cooler?
Box? Yeah, anyway. No.
Five Knuckle Shove time. Alec.
I'm gonna give this a 9.
Ooh.
Like, I really liked it a lot. It wasn't perfect. It had a couple of little flaws, but overall, like, this movie pretty much slapped from beginning to end. The lead is out. Like, he's great. Like, I hope he's in more stuff. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking at his IMDb, and he is in more stuff. Let me confirm this before I say it. What the fuck is going on here? He is going to be in more stuff because he's in Black Adam.
That's right.
He probably plays Young Rock in that too.
Yeah, like I hope he doesn't just get typecast as Young Rock everything.
I mean, to be
But,
fair,
like,
that's a pretty
he
good career for him.
That's a good wake to swim in if you're going to swim in a wake.
He does like have that look though. He's got like the jaw and the same like eyes. Like he pulls it off. But yeah, like in Black Adam, it doesn't have a character named for him, so he probably is just like young Black Adam.
I know we talked about this, I think last week or maybe the week before, but I could give a fuck about Black Adam. Like, I do not care at all.
Nope.
Yeah, I
Me either.
Really like, I'll watch it at some point, but I'm not in a hurry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. All right, a 9. And you call it a 9. A 9! That's it.
Yep, I'm going to pass the mic to TJ.
This is an 8 for me, dog. I really enjoyed it. There's some little tiny things that I wish they could change around a little bit, but overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Stuff that, like I said, I really liked the Baron Toa character. I know he dies in the movie, but like I kind of wanted more of him. But I loved the mixture of action and comedy. I thought that it was paced pretty well. I thought that I really liked the characters. Again, I said it during the synopsis, but I felt like all the characters felt like they felt like characters. I don't know. We watch so many movies where, you know, they spend all this time with these fucking characters, but like by the end of the movie, you're like, I don't know anything about these fucking people, and I don't give a fuck about them either. And I don't have a problem with this movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. This is a very delightful film. I'm glad that it was brought to my attention. So yeah, it's an 8 for me. A very, very solid movie. Thank you, Alec, for even bringing this up, because I would have never heard about this movie otherwise. But yeah, fun. Also, the wrestling stuff is great. You know what I mean? Like, I said it before, but like a suplex onto a lawnmower is right out of like ECW playbook. It was great. So yeah, 8 for me, dog. Highly recommended. Solid movie. Go watch it. You can watch it for free on Hulu right now, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that. Dogs. Also, does Hulu always play ads before movies now? Because I don't remember them doing that, but they certainly do.
I think it's depending on your level of subscription service.
Ugh, it's so annoying. Anyway, Dogs.
It's also going to be an 8 for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I own it. I will watch it again. The John Tui, who plays the Baron Toa, and I don't want to do his name justice, but Uli Latikufu, they're great in it. Like, everyone's great in it. It's got heart. It's a fun movie to watch, and it's like a fun. TJ hit the nail on the head. It's like a throwback or a callback to that sort of like small. This is we'll handle the gang. We'll handle this problem ourselves. Kind of movie. And you know, it's just I don't know. I can just watch people talk with New Zealand accents all day because it just makes me smile. Because everybody's just like, "It's okay, bruv. No big deal." It's just everyone just seems so happy to be there, and people are just committing severe violence.
Crazy violence too.
Yeah,
like
insane
the movie goes into like a Cronenberg-esque moment. And it's like, what the whoa, hey, where did that come from?
But I would have never in a million years seen this. So if Alec had recommended it, I'm glad it got on my radar because I'm gonna really enjoy it. So as long as Sean gives it a 7 or higher, The Legend of Baron Toa will be a certified good ass movie.
I think Sean would like it.
I'm betting Sean's gonna pop for it.
I think so. It's a crowd pleaser. It's a very easily digestible, fun movie. You know what I mean? Like it.
The old Kiwi crowd pleaser.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So what's next month, Alec?
Next month is Heistgist.
Ooh, okay. Heistgist.
I got one.
Go. Is it Heist?
No, it's Sexy Beast.
I've never seen Sexy Beast.
How have you never seen Sexy Beast?
I never have.
Oh my god! I almost don't want to pick it because the heist is kind of secondary to the whole movie, but I love that movie. Yeah, Sexy Beast. That's my pick. How have you never seen Sexy Beast?
I'm very familiar with it. It's got
How are you? Hold on, time out. How can you be very familiar with something you've never seen?
No, I'm very, like, people talk about it with a lot of
Ben Kingsley won an Oscar.
Ben Kingsley apparently, he won an Oscar for it.
He won an Oscar for it. It's Ben Kingsley. It's Ray Winstone.
Love him,
and it's really good. Turn the subtitles on. It is very British. It is. I remember the first time I watched this movie, and it was I want to say it was VHS days. It might have been DVD days, but I watched it with Anthony, and we could not understand what the fuck Ray Winstone was saying in the beginning of the movie. Like it starts out with a monologue, and it's like I remember because he's like, "Oh, fucking hell," and then he just starts talking, and you're like, "What is he saying?" Like, I don't understand. Anyway, I probably should have picked something I don't have such high opinions of, but guys have never seen it. Alec, I'm going to venture you've never seen Sexy Beast.
No.
Do you guys have any ideas of what you're going to pick? If somebody doesn't pick Heat, I'm going to shit my pants.
I was thinking about that. I might not pick it just for it's so long.
It's very long.
It's like almost 3 hours long,
but
isn't
it's so good. It's so good. It is. Did you know?
I got like 4 Oceans movies I can pick from too.
That'd be fun.
Plus, there's a lot of other heist movies. There's tons of heist movies.
It's a great. What about the Italian?
Inside Man?
The Italian Job. You ever seen that? The remake, not the original.
I think I've seen the remake with all the Mini Coopers.
I thought it was fun.
We have a perfectly good reason to watch Army of Thieves now.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Damn it! Shut up! Why did you say that? Fuck! God damn it, guys! I'm trying to think, could I edit it out of the show? But then y'all remember, y'all were here, so I can't edit it from your memory. I need that Men in Black stick.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah.
Shit! God damn it! I was really hoping nobody would bring that up. Fuck! I don't want to watch that movie. God damn it!
Depends how long it is.
2 hours and 7 minutes.
Shorter than Heat. Anyway, so I know this because of TikTok, because TikTok is amazing and I love it so much. That the scene in Alec, have you ever seen Heat?
Yeah.
So you know the scene where Val Kilmer is in the shootout at the end and he's got the machine gun and he does like the mag reloading. Apparently he does it so well they use that in military training.
Jesus, wow. Really?
Yeah. Apparently, it's on TikTok, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, he does it so cleanly and quickly that's how you're supposed to do it. Which I don't know if it's real or not, but it's fucking cool. Because it is really that. I mean, that scene is fucking amazing. I don't know. Heat is one of those movies I'm kind of scared to go back and watch because I haven't watched it in a very long time, and I'm worried.
Michael Mann.
Yes, Michael Mann. Fine. I love that movie so much, but I haven't seen it since I was probably in my fucking teens.
There's so many good heist movies.
There's a lot.
I want to pick something I haven't seen though. So I'm
really glad that the two of you haven't seen Sexy Beast because I think you'll like it. I think you're going to be really I don't think you're. It's not what you expect. The movie is very different than what you're going to expect. And Ben Kingsley is fucking amazing.
I'm trying to remember if I've seen Ronin or not.
I've seen it. It's pretty good with Robert De Niro.
Yeah, De Niro. But we'll figure it out. But there's lots of good heist movies.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, Pain
right.
and Gain's kind of a heist movie.
Movie
We're still
is
recording, right?
long as hell.
Yeah.
Yes, we're
All right,
still
okay.
recording. Don't say. All right. Anyway, that's the show. Eat your own ass. We'll see you next week. I'm excited for Heist.
Yeah, it's not the easiest to say.
But like I love heist movies. Like it's
Love 'em.
one of my favorite little subgenres. So this ought to be fun.
They're pressure
Until-
cookers. Nothing beats a pressure cooker.
Until we watch the fucking Zack Snyder movie that he didn't even direct. It's like I think he pawned it off to somebody else.
So maybe.
No, it's gonna be bad, dude. It's about the worst character in that movie, the fucking German like safecracker guy. Like that character sucked. I mean, they all suck.
Find out on Movie the Podcast.
Oh God! All right, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.